Edmund Chen was originally sentenced to 5 days in jail. After an appeal, that sentence was reduced to just 1 day. But the High Court did not rule that jail was completely unnecessary. That distinction is the most important part of this case. The 64-year-old former actor, whose legal name is Tan Kai-yuan, began serving his sentence immediately after the appeal hearing on July 20th. He was released from Chani Prison Complex at about 9:40 that night. The case began with a traffic accident on March 4th, 2025. Chen was driving along the Air Raja Expressway towards the Central Expressway when he realized he was not in the correct lane for the road split ahead. He braked abruptly, almost came to a complete stop, and then tried to filter across another lane. A motorcyclist approaching from behind collided with Chen's car despite trying to avoid it. The 21-year-old rider suffered multiple wrist fractures. He underwent surgery, spent 2 days in hospital, and received 99 days of hospitalization leave. However, he did not suffer any permanent disability. Chen stopped after the collision, helped the rider, and cooperated with the authorities. He later pleaded guilty to causing grievous hurt while driving without reasonable consideration for other road users. In January 2026, a district judge sentenced him to 5 days in jail and disqualified him from driving for 5 years. What made the original sentence unusual was that neither side had initially asked for jail. The prosecution sought a fine of between $3,000 and $5,000. Chen's defense also argued for a fine. However, the district judge decided that the seriousness of the injuries and Chen's level of carelessness meant the threshold for jail had been crossed. At the appeal, Chen's new lawyer argued that the accident happened during a moment of poor judgment rather than a prolonged period of dangerous driving. Dashcam footage was played in court. The defense highlighted that Chen had switched on his indicator. It also argued that the motorcycle had temporarily been hidden from his view by another car as the road curved. Another key issue involved the white chevron markings near the road split. The district judge had treated Chen's crossing of those markings as one factor supporting a jail sentence. However, the defense said the footage showed that his car crossed the chevrons only after the collision had already happened. That mattered because sentencing should be based on what actually caused the accident, not simply where the vehicle ended up afterwards. The prosecution took a different view. It argued that Chen continued with the maneuver even after drivers of 2 passing cars sounded their horns. According to the prosecution, this suggested that he was deliberately persisting with a risky decision. Justice Prai Kumar Nair ultimately found the 5-day sentence to be manifestly excessive. The judge said the lower court may have overstated the number of factors increasing Chen's blameworthiness while giving too little weight to the mitigating circumstances. Those circumstances included Chen stopping promptly, helping the injured rider, cooperating with investigators, and pleading guilty. However, the High Court did not say the district judge was clearly wrong to impose jail. That is why the sentence was reduced to 1 day instead of being replaced with a fine. This is the hidden legal layer behind the headline. An appeal is not always about proving that the original court reached a completely wrong conclusion. It can also examine whether the punishment was too severe when all the circumstances are considered together. The 1-day sentence, therefore, reflects a narrow balance. The accident caused significant injuries, so the case could not be treated as a harmless traffic mistake. At the same time, there was no permanent disability, and Chen's conduct after the collision counted in his favor. His celebrity status did not remove the consequences. He still served a jail sentence and remains banned from driving for 5 years. That driving ban may have a greater long-term effect than the difference between 1 day and 5 days behind bars. For ordinary motorists, the broader lesson is not about Edmund Chen's fame. It is about what happens when a driver realizes too late that they are in the wrong lane. Missing an exit may cost a few minutes. Braking suddenly or cutting across moving traffic can leave another person injured and result in years without a driving license. The safest decision is usually to continue along the wrong route and find another way back. Chen acknowledged this after his release. He said he regretted his actions and was relieved that the motorcyclist was recovering. He also warned that traffic safety should never be taken lightly because one decision can affect both the driver and everyone around them. That message is especially relevant on Singapore's expressways, where road splits can force motorists to make quick decisions at high speed. Being familiar with a route does not remove the need to plan ahead. Neither does switching on an indicator automatically make a lane change safe. An indicator communicates an intention. It does not give a driver the right of way or remove the duty to check that the lane is clear. The case also shows why dashcam footage has become so important. Arguments about road position, visibility, and the exact timing of a maneuver can influence how responsibility and punishment are assessed. Without video evidence, some of those details may depend mainly on conflicting recollections. A sentence being reduced does not mean the injuries were insignificant. It means the High Court believed 1 day in jail, together with a 5-year driving ban, better reflected the full circumstances of this particular case. Do you think the final sentence achieved the right balance between accountability, the rider's injuries, and Chen's actions after the accident? Share your view below, and stay informed by liking, sharing, and subscribing to 2230.